I was invited to the Sydney College of Art, which is part of the University of Sydney in Australia, to put together an exhibition for them. I was invited as the research fellow with a resulting exhibit in their research gallery. And so for 19 days, I created this work. What we have here is there are a group of portraits on the wall, cheap, inexpensive black and white printouts of historical portraits. They are people from the convict period of Australia. Then there's another group, Alexander McConaughey, who is a prison reformer, and I gave him a separate area with a quote. And then there's another section on the wall devoted to Lindy England and Edward Snowden. On the one hand, they have indicated that he is a criminal, and on the other hand, the government has changed policy because they have realized that the American people don't want these things done. And so there's a tremendous contradiction here, in my opinion. I found some quotes from Snowden about why he exposed these secret documents. And so I have a couple of portraits of him, and then a portrait of Lindy England with her activity in the Abu Ghraib scandal. Then there is also a description of torture from the convict period in Australia, a verbal description. And there is also a description or a definition of waterboarding, which was one of the things that the American government sanctioned the military to do against prisoners in order to find out more information from them. So those are the texts on the wall. In the room, there are two sculptures. One of them is a non-objective abstraction of Australia, and it's a carved polychrome porcelain sculpture, and it's in response to the natural beauty of Australia. It has nothing to do with mankind. Then the other physical structure is this collection of porcelain portraits from the convict period, but also including Lindy England and Edward Snowden, and it is encased in these paper paintings that are slashed horizontally by me, and they're hanging and completely enclosing the porcelain portraits, but you can see through them because they're slashed. And then there was the outer layer, which was perfect and pure until the opening night, when visitors, gallery goers, were invited to come in with X-Acto blades that we provided and slash vertically through this paper in order for them to see the porcelain portraits related to torture. That physical object, the collection of porcelain encased in 2 layers of paper, is called torture. I created this installation to call attention to the unacceptable activities of the United States government. I feel that the government is not acting as we, the people, wish it to. And our government was founded on that principle that is enshrined in our 18th century documents. Australia and Britain banned torture over 100 years ago, but our American government is engaging in this activity, or at least has recently engaged in this activity. And, again, this is being done in the name of the American people, but certainly not with my approval. And I think many millions of Americans also disapprove of torturing prisoners. If one can transform something ugly and horrible into something beautiful, to me, that's a sort of alchemy. And alchemy, of course, is what artists do. We make something out of nothing. I think through beauty and allure, we can attract people. And if we can attract people, then we might be able to make them aware of things that we want them to be aware of. And if we can make them aware of these things, then maybe we can even influence their behavior.